there, ref. That's he got the ball.
Yes, everybody, how are we? Good to see you. Premier League Sunday, and we're up against Everton. David Moyes' Everton, a huge, huge game for this Spurs squad and for Ange Postecoglou, and we'll see what we're made of today. We're coming up against the mightiest of low blocks, the David Moyes' of low blocks, and we're also without basically our two strikers in Richarlison as well as Solanke. Maybe we'll get a little Will Lancashire action at some point today. It's definitely going to be a difficult game, and also hard to make sense of what sort of lineup even Ange Postecoglou's gone for. What sort of shape has he gone for? Plenty of debate around that. So please, everybody, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Thanks for picking us as your watch-along destination. But Dave, I mean, let's get into it. You know, the lineups here. We have, of course, we have Kinski still in goals. Dragishin and Ben Davis are supposed to be the center back pairing, with Archie Gray likely being moved into midfield, but that's where the debate is. Could it be a back three instead? You have Pedro Porro still staying in the team, not being dropped for someone like Sergio Reguilon. Some people seem to think that that should have happened, feeling like Pedro Porro, you know, is need of a rest and need of kind of a break. Jet Spence potentially playing on the left side once again. Pop Matasar stays in the midfield. Bergvall in there as well. Then you have Kulusevski, Madison, and Son. But Dave, I mean, that's what you were alluding to earlier before we went live. I mean, the question and the debate is really over the shape Ange Postecoglou has gone with. Of course, he's been thrown a spammer in the works by Solanke not being available and not being available for a considerable amount of time. So he's thrown us a curveball here, Ange, Dave. So what can you decipher the curveball? What is it? You know, what sort of shape are we looking at? What sort of team are we looking at? And yeah.
Do you know, it's really hard to know, Jack, you know, because for me, when I first seen us, as yet, the usual 4-3-3, you know, Porro and Spence full-backs, Dragish and Davies centre-backs, then you've got a midfielder, Gray, Bergvall and Sarr, with a forward line of Kulusevski, Son and Madison. And my initial thoughts were, what way is that forward line going to be? What way is that tree going to work? Because you could easily play Son through the middle. Kulusevski's played through the middle at times. You know, you could play Kulu off the left, Madison off the left or right, or off the right. So my initial thought was, what way is that front tree going to be made up? But you know, then people start posing the question in the pre-match build-up chat, which I think is a very fair question to ask. You know, is it a 5-2-3? Is it a 5-3-2 with Kulu and Son up front? It's hard to know what variation to make out. I think bringing in Ben Davies and keeping Archie Gray in there is why that sort of headache comes around about what shape we're going to be. Because in the pre-match press conference, he was asked about the potential of bringing Davies back in and moving Gray into midfield. And Postecoglou basically said, look, you know, we're still short across the back line. Gray's been playing phenomenally well there, and I don't see the need to move him right now. We need his cover across the back line. So that's what sort of brings around this conversation. For me, I do think it will be a 4-3-3 with Gray, Bergvall and Sarr in the midfield. For me, it's a midfield tree that I really want to see. It's the future of this football club in terms of that position. You know, it's a very hard-working midfield. There's no egos in there. They're all honest. And I think they're all technically gifted as well. So I think it's a midfield that can shine. So for me, that's what I think it will be, Jack. But if it is a case where he has gone with a 3 across the back or a 5 across the back, whatever way you want to dress it up, it stinks of a man under pressure who knows he needs a result today. If it doesn't come his way, I think, you know, it could end up costing him his job to a certain degree. Because I've always said that, Jack, if a manager dramatically changes up everything he's trying to do, all of a sudden it stinks of a man that knows he's under pressure and is trying to do something to save his job.
Yeah, I personally don't know if it's going to be a 3-4-3. I kind of would guess it might not be. I'd be really surprised if all of a sudden he were to make a dramatic shape change like that. Of course, it would be influenced by the injuries and everything like that, you know, so he feels like he might have to make a change in shape in order to accommodate for the players that he wants to play. Maybe instead of just chucking in Lancashire, he would rather make an accommodation, you know, have maybe a certain different shape so that he can fit in a Madison, so that he can fit in maybe an extra player that he would rather play than, let's say, a Will Lancashire. As much as I think, you know, maybe this wasn't a bad opportunity for someone like him, if he would prefer to lean on the more experienced players, then maybe he did have to make some sort of shape change in order to fit him in.
Maybe. Look, maybe. Then this is the thing we just don't know. And I suppose the good thing is Everton probably don't know either. So hopefully, you know, that helps us out to a large degree today. But I'm just not sure, It's a manager that sat there and says, "Look, this is the way I play. This is the way I want to do things. I'm not really going to deviate from that." If he does deviate from that, I think I ask serious questions then around his future and that. But look, let's wait and see what way it works out. Some would argue having that extra defensive cover there will allow Pedro Porro and Jed Spence to get more further forward, not be as exposed with balls down the wing. And when you look at everything, that's probably their big threat today.
Yeah.
So. Look, it's really hard to know. We won't know. We'll know in the first minute the way it's set up, where they take their positions, whether it's a back four or a back five. But it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, Jack. We just need 11 players out there that are going to fight together and get a result on the board. Many people think this should be an easy game for Tottenham. We haven't won up in Goodison Park in 6 years. It's not an easy game for us whatsoever. It's a tight pitch. The crowd's on your back. And, I would argue we're better on bigger pitches. You look at some of the victories this year, the manner we won them, they've all been on big, wide pitches. The games where we've played, these tough sort of compact pitches, Palace, for instance, Selhurst Park, we really struggled to sort of get going. Even last year on the Postecoglou, we struggled to get going up there. I know Richarlison scored 2 early on, but the rest of the game became a real struggle in terms of trying to play our football and stuff like that. So it's not going to be easy. And when you look at the way David Moyes sets up, who, by the way, took 4 points off Tottenham last year, the way he sets up, he blocks up that middle and says, "Go and break me down out wide. Let's see if you can do it."
Right.
Well, we all know Tottenham's problems, out wide so far this season, Jack. So it's not going to be an easy game today. It is one where we are going to have to show some team spirit, some camaraderie, some togetherness, and fight for each other. What I don't want to see is a ball being played into someone, a hopeful ball. It's bouncing around, and we don't have second player. We don't have players up there trying to pick up seconds, trying to pick up thirds, battling for it. Like we've seen that in the North London derby. Sometimes the ball is pumped forward, but there's no one within 10 yards of them. But there is Arsenal players there, and they're picking up the ball and coming back one way. We have to understand we need to fight today.
Fight, as well as also in a game like this when everything is on the line for perhaps even Ange Postecoglou, need to hopefully see some quality from somebody, because that's what's also been missing in the past few games. Kulusevski has been off it. Solanke's been off it. Of course, now he's injured, but, he hasn't really been at his sharpest. Sonny, despite getting the goal in North London derby, has been a little bit quiet, not really making the influence that we need. And also James Maddison. So many of these big star players, you look across that forward line there of Sonny, Maddison, Kulusevski. You need one of them to step up in a game like this. You need one of them to deliver in terms of quality, put away the chance that comes their way, or create a really high quality chance for somebody else. And in the past few games, it's been really dull. It's been really sort of headachy from this forward line. So that's what we're also going to need, is a bit of quality from them in this game.
Well,
I completely agree with you on the fight part, Dave, but sometimes I think we have gotten that in games. It's actually then just been down to sheerly the quality just letting us down. And that's the reason we haven't won games.
Well, look, 100%. That's another thing that we spoke about large times this season.
Plenty of times,
the lack of quality, and when we do create chances, we don't take them, and and it's sort of the problem then starts compiling on itself. And you look at players now, they look complete drained of confidence going forward. You look at Son. He's just passing it backwards past the inside. He's almost dropping to the halfway line to get that ball. It's not the Son we know, Jack. Kulusevski, he's tired. He was getting out-muscled by Lewis Skelly the other day. That's not Kulu. Yeah. That's not a characteristic we're used to seeing from him. He's usually bombarding through players, you know what I mean? And that's happening because he's tired. James Maddison, way off it, way off it. So I struggle to see where it's going to come from today. But look, let's wait and see. What I will say, Jack, is an area we can actually pinpoint and look to get at Everton is they're playing, it looks like, probably Jake O'Brien out at right back. Now, he's an Ireland centre-back. He was out in France playing for Lyon. He was having a tremendous time out there, and he came into the Republic of Ireland squad. This guy is a really good centre-back. He is good, but he's not a right-back. He has to be the area we target today, because it's been a real problem for them. They've tried playing Ashley Young there for large parts of this season. Moyes even gave him the game against Aston Villa and hauled him off because he's 39, his legs are gone. So they're trying to find a different solution. Get at him today. I don't want to see long balls. I want to see players, because he's a big guy, he's physical, he will win them all the game long. But I want to see us run at him. Pull him out, out of the centre box, out of the box, pull him out, run at him. That's where you're going to get your joy. That is an area we can certainly target today to get joy.
Yeah, 100%. Well, everybody, good to see you all. Thank you for picking us as your watch-along destination. Over 300 in the house with us. We have Brett in here. Good to see you, Brett. DJ AK as well. Brett saying, hi, guys. Disappointed with the lineup. For me, we should play Reguilon, Spence, and drop Poro and Kulu as they are knackered. Drop Kulu as well, he's saying. Sar very lucky to be playing as well. I
Yeah.
guess, yeah, Sar necessarily didn't
Hauled off
have
at half time in these last 2 games, Jack.
Yeah, I guess so. When you think about it, so many players, so when you think about it, right, that just haven't been playing well in the past few games. You need somebody to step up in this one. DJ AK, here we go again. Come on, you Spurs need a win. A draw just ain't good enough today. I think Marlon mentioned that in his channel predictions. It's not really about injuries anymore. It's not really about style of play. It's not really about any of that stuff. It's kind of just about winning games of football at this point. And I wouldn't really disagree. Good to see Ribsy85 saying, here we go again. Hopefully we see some fight. Come on, you Spurs. Hopefully so, Ribsy. Berbatov's halftime smoke is in here. Good to see MV Joker Davis as well. You two absolute legends. Steady as Shark is in with us. Good to see you, Steady. Fat Tony, my man in Washington, up nice and early. Shem Tan. Hey, Jack and Dave. Hope you're both good today. Hoping for a win, but with that lineup with Sun up front, not
Big
very good.
Ange as well.
And Poro, who are both knackered. We can't win with doing that. Sorry, Dave. Who's else?
Oh, no, just saying big up Neil G. Sorry, lad.
Neil G is in here as well. Don't think I've skipped Neil G is yet. Haven't seen him in here. K32 is in here. Ed Sweeting is in here. The lineup is not really much of a decision today for Ange. Only more Richie and Reguilon have ever started a Premier League game. We know Richie has fitness concerns. It's be nice to kind of just rotate the lineup at least a little bit, but still, it feels like with guys like Richarlison, you can't really risk it. And even just the injury returns just haven't happened maybe soon enough that we haven't rotated that lineup as much as you would like, really. Kate, Neil G, like Dave saying, big up, lads. Come on, you Spurs. 3 points. Urgently needed. Very urgently needed, Neil. Very urgently needed.
Yeah.
Desperately. Need them yesterday.
Need the most.
Kim.
Yeah, you're right. Yesterday we needed them.
Kim is in here as well. Good to see you, Kim. Thanks for supporting the team as a member. Michael 343, he's gone for. I mean, I think probably a good amount of people might think he's made a formation change. I guess we'll find out in about 10 minutes time. Everybody gets strapped in. Drewzilla, good to see you, Drew. Wearing the top. Hopefully you like me in the blue. I like the black one very much, but this one feels a bit more festive, a bit more, pop of the color for the Spurs. Big up to you, Drew. Hopefully
I wasn't happy giving that one away, Jack.
No, this one feels good. This one feels good. Thank you, my friend. And he's gone for a Coys. Big up to you, Drew. DB is in here as well, Dave, saying, I just want to be excited again about a Spurs game. I mean, it's definitely been a while since I've been excited, let's say, about a Spurs game. I've gone into them, pretty nervous and, kind of that nervous excitement. But, when's the last time I would say I've been rolling into it, just expecting to roll teams over? It's been a while. Maybe there was that little period where we went on that nice little win streak, DB. And then maybe I was kind of having my chest out, thinking we were going to pump teams. But right now, it's been a while since I've had that feeling for sure.
And this is where, it's hard to deny, is it coming to an end? Because we're all here under Conte, we're all here under Jose, where, the life, the fun, the joy, everything that you usually turn to football for is being sucked out of it, Look, I would argue it's of Tottenham's importance to try and gather a bit of momentum heading into that Liverpool away game at Anfield. If we can do that, we can win that. It turns the tide of the season and gives us that momentum, brings back that joy, rejuvenates people a little bit. Let's wait and see. But I do think a lot of it does hinge on today's game. And look, I don't think it's going to be the most exciting watch. I did bring my matchsticks to keep my eyes open. But we got to fight. We got to try and get 3 points on the board. If not, the only solution is you got to roll the dice then.
Cool, sexy football saying, big up Dave and Jack and my fellow yids. It's squeaky bum time, a must-win game, no excuses, definitely so. Cool, sexy football. DB saying, great pre-match build-up, Dave. Listen to it, washing the cars, and as well, good job, Drew. Well, there you are, Drew. If you're listening, DB, really approved of your performance. Well done to you, Drew. Mud
DB
FC
gets a lot done just quickly, doesn't he? Washing cars and listening to Spurs content. Fair play to him. I need to take a leaf out of that book. I can't listen to something and do something at the same time. I just can't do it.
That's kind of my main thing is to be listening to other people talk while I'm just getting various things done. It's one of my favorite distractions. Mud FC saying, what's Levy doing at the game? And then someone responded to him, he's sharpening the axe, says TJAK. Daddy Bibby is in here. Leighton Evelyn, my favorite happy clapper. He's gone for a 0-0. Well, there you go. Leighton sounds like a boring game. Maybe might as well have someone else commentate for this one if it's going to be a 0-0 because Dave and I will be frustrated. Woodsy Hotspur, good to see you, Woodsy. Breckon as well. Good to see you, Breckon. Cam Shanks is in here as well. Big Pants, good to see you, Big Pants. Longy's in here as well. JJJ, Jay Ozzy as well. Cal Brown. Good to see you, Cal. How are we, sir? Afternoon. All this team is stuck together with Sailotite. It doesn't matter what happens today once we come away with the win. Come on, you Spurs. I mean, yeah, this team, I don't even think there's any tape that's holding together this team at this point. It's practically like rubber bands and, whatever sort of contraption that you'd come up with, if you were in like a high school science project or something like that. It's just whatever we can do to keep this team together, I think would roll with. But Dave, I mean, he's right. The team has fallen apart, and here's a good opportunity, I guess, to seal a win to, feel like everything is still held together.
Look, this is how bad it's getting, as soon as we're getting someone back, we're excited. We're like, yes, bodies to help alleviate. We lose 2 or 3 more. Prime example, we've lost Solanke, Basuma, and Johnson since the North London Derby. But we were excited to get Richarlison and Davies back. So the thing is, we're all sitting there waiting for injured players to get back and alleviate the situation. But as soon as the 2 others are going out, so how long is this going to keep going for?
It feels like we're cursed this year, man. It feels like we're cursed this year, Cal. I've said this joke too many times. It's probably not even funny at this point, but I have said, because I do believe it, I do feel like something like Gio Lo Celso's shin bone or something is buried underneath, the medical room, because it's just that ridiculous at this point with all the injuries and all the unluckiness that we're getting. Dark Sun G, good to see you, Dark Sun G. Hopefully you're all right, my friend. He's saying, if I remember correctly, don't you become homegrown when you play in the Premier League from the age of 18 for 3 years onwards? That's why Sarr isn't homegrown, while Bergvall will become homegrown. Hope to see Yang as well become, maybe he's saying hope to see Yang, come on you Spurs, 3-0. Is there an opportunity Yang could be homegrown, as maybe he's also alluding to that?
I'm not quite sure, Jack. I know there is rules that between, I think it's like 15 or 16 and 21. If you've come in and you've played 3 years worth of football, there is a chance you become homegrown. But I think how much of that has to be academy football. I think that's where
you have to be at Spurs or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's where maybe the grey area comes in a little bit. I'm going to do some research on it, Dark Sun G, and I'll come back to you, one of the shows during the week if you pop in, and I'll come back to you with, the stuff around that. I'm not 100% sure around the legalities, because I did used to know it, but the thing is, things change. Everything's changed with Brexit, so things are a little bit different in that regard. So I will find out the answer for you on that. Or, we are surrounded by a lot of football nerds. We're football nerds ourselves. So if there is anybody out there that does know the legalities around it, feel free to put it in the chat there for our, so we can learn. And Dak Sung G, gets the answer he's requiring. Yang is on the bench though, Jack. Do you think he'll get some minutes today?
I doubt it today, Dave and Dark Sun G. I do doubt that Young will get his minutes, but it's nice to see him on the bench. I'm now confused, though. Maybe it has to do with the injury, the reason he's now being included in the bench. But he was on the bench for the Liverpool game, then isn't on the bench, in the other games. And it's just been a bit confusing kind of at this stage. I'm kind of confused whether Ange rates him or not, whether he just kind of throws him on the bench when he kind of has to. It's a little bit confusing, but I'm not sure if I'm expecting him to get minutes. Maybe Mikey Moore is probably the more likely candidate to get some minutes off the bench. Richarlison as well is a potential guy to get minutes off the bench. Even Will Lancashire too, right? Maybe a good opportunity for him, but you never know. It'd be nice to see Young and Hook, just something different, someone who can, you'd like to think can run at players, try to run at defenders, try to create a bit of chaos. And that's all we're really looking for. It's really low standards at the moment. So Young Min Hook, he could probably smash it quite easily, Dark Sunji, but I'm not too sure if he's going to be featuring today. We'll find out, though, man. And maybe Bergvall could become homegrown or something like that, like you're alluding to as well. And he's been really, really good. And I also will say just quickly, I did like your comment the other day that if anything is to be taken from this really bad injury period, Dark Sun G, if anything's going to be taken from it, it's definitely that, there's a silver lining with the Archie Gray, Bergvall, those sort of players that have stepped up in this tough period and have shown to be maybe worth the money that we have invested in, and definitely will be worth the time and the patience that we'll be investing into them as well. They've really stood out.
I have the answer for you, Dark Sung G. So you are correct. Yang and Bergvall can become homegrown in terms of European squad registration after 2 seasons at Tottenham Hotspur. So you're correct in that regard, but I don't think they go towards the homegrown in terms of league squad.
Okay.
So for Europe, you're absolutely spot on, Dark Sung G. I can confirm that.
There you are. Got the research done in a minute there, Darksland G, in a hot minute. Good to see you, man. Really appreciate the support today. Shawnee Maddox in here as well, saying interesting lineup given the last minute Solanke injury. Dave, how did Shawnee do in the pro clubs last night quickly?
No, we didn't play last night,
Okay.
lad. We're going to leave it off and stave it off for tonight. I don't think anyone was in the mood. People had things going on. So we didn't play any last night. I think it's going to go today.
Okay.
But they're not going without me. I know that. If they do, they'll have to listen to me.
Good to see AK Shags as well. Hopefully you're all right, AK. And then
Big up.
Fazzy Radfar saying Gray will play in midfield. And then he also follows up with the super chat by saying it will remain a 4-3-3, guys. Gray in midfield, 4-1 win for sure. 4-1 is never in doubt, Fazzy Radfar, until it's impossible for the 4-1 to happen. It's always in the cards for you, sir. But Gray, I'd like to see in midfield. I don't want to see a switch up to a back three because I kind of agree with Dave. If Ange Postecoglou all of a sudden made a huge change like that to the shape and to the formation, that would start to kind of scream to me, a guy that's starting to look a little bit desperate, a guy that's starting to look maybe a little bit just out of ideas and just sort of out of confidence with what he wants to try to do on the pitch. But if it's a 4-3-3, then yeah, Gray would likely be in the midfield. And that's something we've been wanting to see for a while because he deserves it. I mean, he's played so well here that, just to have to continue to be rolled out at center back, you do kind of feel a little bit bad for the guy. He's not been allowed to maybe flourish in what should be his position, which is been up for grabs, which is that number six role.
Oh look, but I think playing across the back line will be beneficial for Archie Gray in the long run. I think hopefully we see that today, because playing at centre back, looking at Basuma and all, he'd say, look, he just put himself in that situation when he was playing. It's like, this is where I need to be. This is the cover they're looking for. This is where they want me to be when they're on the ball. I think, it's something that Ajax do. That's why they continually produce players for world football for the big clubs, because they play them in different positions in the academy growing up, so that when they are in their position, they know exactly where everyone else should be, what sort of ball they want, where they should be to help cover them and stuff like that. It's, so I have no problem with it. But look, in terms of Archie Gray, the number 6 today, I hope he can bring a lot more solidity than what we've seen maybe, Basuma, or a lot more protection than what other players are given this back for. I'm really excited to see this midfield today. It's the future of the football club. 2 18-year-olds or 22-year-old players that fans have been massively behind since they've signed on the dotted line. And I think there's a huge opportunity for them today to say, look, fuck Madison out, get Basuma out. We're the future. Play us week in, week out. Huge opportunity for them.
No, totally. 100%. Patty Harnett saying, good afternoon, guys. Please, God, let us win today. Jack, your lighting has a very Sith Lord effect. Feels like you're on the evil side of the partnership. Hey, Dave and I, one of us has got to be good cop, bad cop. One of us has to be the evil one here, Patty Harnett. Sometimes we just switch up roles. Brecon, thank you so much, my friend. Gifting out 5 Irish Hotspur memberships to 2 sides of a Spurs pod. Longy, Matt Cox, Tyler, welcome back, sir. And then Stefan Blois. He's gifted out to some good people there in the chat, some very deserving people. So thank you so much, Brecon. Very generous.
7 o'clock. Make sure you use it, guys. Get on and have a conversation with us.
Yeah, please, everybody. You need some debuts. You need some people to make some debuts. So come on, be that person, be that man. And also, Tyler, it's been a while, my friend. Have a chat with us. A little alone time with us 3. Come on, have a sit down. Have a sit down with us, Big T. Really appreciate you, though, Brecon. That's very, very generous of you, my friend. Elvis G is in with us as well. Looper Cal too. Really appreciate you. Outera S Facira, Dave. He's picked up a Flat Cat membership. Thank you so much, my
Big
friend. And big day today is to do. Big day today is to do. Big day. Daniel Larson's in with us.
Seize the day.
We need all the Latin we can get. Big up Daniel Larson. Big up Outer S Fasir. Lesser known is in here as well. Andy English. Good to see you, Andy English. And then we also have Kill Switch Engage, one of the best names of business. Saying, lads, why the somber buildup? At least crack a smile. 3-1 Spurs. Ange delivers when chips are down and his back is against the wall. Coys. I mean, I think I've sort of sound pretty cheerful as I think one can try to be, considering the circumstances and considering, the form right now. So maybe I could be a little bit happy clappier, but I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised to be reading that Kill Switch. Maybe my dull sort of morning expression kind of gives off that, type of vibe, but I'm, kind of neutral at the moment. I'll be honest.
Do you know what it is, my man? It's not really much to do with Ange Postecoglou. I'm just so deflated with the football club in general. Don't get me wrong, I'm always up for the fight. I'm always up for a game. I always believe we can go and win the next game despite what everything else in the universe is trying to tell me. I'm just a bit beaten up by Tottenham, and it's more so the effort that I've seen in the North London derby that has killed me a little bit inside. However, don't worry about me, my man. I'm up for the game. We score a goal. You'll see smiles written all over his face. You'll even start
Yeah.
hearing me sing, my man. So don't worry about that. It's just I'm a bit defeated at the moment, and largely because I also seen us sleepwalking into this situation. With the sale of Harry Kane alongside Son's, decline. I spoke about it 2 years ago. I've seen us sleepwalking into this situation, and that's why I'm a bit demotivated right now. Because I don't know. I just seen it 2 years ago. Us walking into this situation now with the decline of Kane and Son, and I think it's too simplistic just to look at Ange Postecoglou. We're going to speak about this on Tuesday. I think there has to be an internal investigation in the club to say how much are we missing these two guys and the failure to replace them properly as well. How much is that is having an input? It doesn't really matter the manager until we get this situation sorted out. So, I'm just a bit demotivated right now. But let's see how we go. Right now, it does look like we are.
Looks to be a 4-3-3.
Yeah, it looks to be a 4-3-3 right now. Let's see where Archie Gray slots back into, though. Does he drop right back in beside the centre-backs?
But yeah, I mean, kill switch engage, one of the best names in the business.
This does look like a back five to start off with, Jack.
It does. But yeah, I mean, I'll try to be a bit more smiley and stuff. But to be honest, I kind of went into it thinking I was pretty neutral as much as one can be, considering the circumstances and everything. And it also, maybe it's just kind of my morning glum look, my resting morning look. Appreciate you though, kill switch.
So it looks like Kulu's gone right. It's hard to know right now. Let's give it a minute, but it does look like Archie Gray is playing.
Archie Gray does look to be playing in some
He's
sort
holding
of
that
defensive
line.
role, some sort of defensive position.
I wonder, is it just initially to stave off maybe the early onslaught of pressure and then they switch? It's hard to know.
Could be maybe out of possession. He's playing deeper. In possession, he takes up a different role.
Maybe. I think everyone's as confused as us, Jack, by the looks of it in the chat.
Well, wouldn't be too different to the North London derby. Oh, great turnover from Spence. He has Sonny here.
You got to play
him. Yes, he does.
Oh, it's a shit ball. Story of our season, that.
This is the thing, though, Dave, is I do feel like when you do have Jed Spence on the left in these situations, he's not always going to be able to generate maybe the power he wants if he's not the most left-footed, two-footed player. He's not the most two-footed player, so that's just... He hits it with the left. He doesn't get enough oomph behind it.
What an opportunity there.
Great turnover.
Come on, son. Deliver a good ball. Let's play everything at their own game. If we can score from a set piece, that'll kill them.
Oh, nearly.
Don't let him out. There's only one player there. Please.
Well done, Matters.
Leave it. You're off.
Oh, how are we not coming out with that? Good
what a challenge
from Bergvall.
What a Bergvall. Good ball on the reverse. Hold that, Kulu. Corner. Oh, throw in to Tottenham Hotspur. What a challenge from Bergvall. Showing him in the weight room. Get off me. Love that.
Got very stuck in.
Jed Spence loving it. My man. Come on, Jed. Crack me a smile. That was for me. I know it was. Jedi. Oh, brilliant play. Turns the beats one, beats forward, two. Oh, just takes an heavy touch trying to beat O'Brien on the outside.
Went the wrong direction. Could have just...
Right idea, though. This is what I want to see. I want to see us go at them. I'm sick of the mundane passing. Just go at them. No fear. That's it, Jedi. Yeah, Jed's getting high, so it looks like Jed Spence will be used on the press to get forward and, alleviate Kulu and Son to a certain degree. Interesting. Everton breaking forward here. Jared Braithwaite plays it out wide to Mikalenko, puts the ball in the box. Radu Dragosin clears it. So yeah, we can confirm it does look like a 3-2 or 3-4-3 maybe. Interesting. Decore on the ball, plays it backwards. Come on, get the pressure on Braithwaite. He's only back. Everything go along. Tottenham goal kick. Let's get the ball down. Let's build a good attack here. So interesting. Ange has gone for something different, which strikes me as a guy under immense pressure. So
I'm worried by that.
if this doesn't work, then I think
And that's the thing. If it doesn't
the
work,
writing's on the wall.
if it doesn't work, because there's just so many other opportunities where he could have done something like this.
Well, you're also going away from what you believe works, right? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So if you've lost belief in what you think works, then, if this doesn't work, then I think the writing's on the wall.
100%.
Who's looking for it? Come on, guys. Oh, Jed loses out. Decore. Lindstrom has a shot saved by
Save.
Kinski.
Spurs versus Spurs of the North, says Stevie Frazier. Good to see you, Steve.
Big up, Stevie. Good save that from Kinski.
Resting Coy's face, says Fat Tony. Yeah, I think that's what I have. Normally I have a resting Happy Clapper's face, just maybe not anymore. That's what this season has done to me.
Everton got joy at Goodison Park last year with set pieces against Vicario. Let's see if we can defend them any better here today. Be a good test earlier on at Kinski. Good save there. He needs to eradicate the nerves that were there in that North London derby.
Good to see you, Rick and Brighton. Hopefully you're all right, my friend.
Give him a nipple cripple, Spence.
Vandal Ross as well. Good to see you,
Big up,
Laron.
Vandal.
And then just catching up, making sure I wasn't missing anything. I also saw earlier, not sure if it happened in the previous stream day, but Blaine Devlin picked up an elite member.
Oh, yeah.
Big up to you, Blaine.
Oh, an elite one. Big up, Blaine. Very, very kind of you, my man.
Very kind of you, Blaine. Thank you, sir, if you are still listening.
I said to him on the pre-match, get yourself on the fan show on Monday. Let's have a discussion. Let's break the ice.
Referee's trying to have a discussion over what?
I don't know. Is he waiting on a VAR call here? Seems like it. This is getting... What are we even checking?
They just having a little phone chat.
Has he lost his technology? I don't know. Is something being said behind the lino here? I'm not sure. First of all, I'm concerned that he's got that jacket on. He's not warmed up at all, this lino. We making a sub already? Or something going on the Tottenham bench? Will Lancashire looks very guilty. Okay, no, they're changing
waiting on the other lino.
What did they do? Have to go for shit?
Must have been having an Eric Dyer. Had some chocolate milk before the game. Big mistake.
The crowd laughing.
Jack, you're still clapping, just not so happy. Maybe that's what it is for CCTV.
Right, can we get on with the game now? We've had, even the linos are wasting our time to win games. It's getting beyond disgraceful. Now, the referee has to talk about absolutely every minute fucking detail. We've already wasted 4 minutes here at a set piece. Can we just get on with the game? It's a set piece. There's going to be argy-bargy, for God's sake. What are we playing? Tag rugby? Jesus Christ. Can we get on with it? It's a contact sport.
Set pieces. That's going to be a big thing.
Kulu,
Bergvall, what are we doing, lads?
No communication there.
You're both Swedish.
And they both speak English. Communicate in one of the languages, for fuck's sake.
They're both friends. They both speak the same language. What are we doing here, lads? Bergvall thinks Kulu's going to take it. Kulu thinks Bergvall's going to take it. And then they both let it bounce.
Oh.
Fucking hell. That's just sums up Spurs right there. Just a simple clearance. Even a simple counterattack. O'Brien is very big.
Yeah, he's a big boy, Jack. He's only like 20 odd, or 20.
Looks like Alfie Dorrington on steroids.
He's a huge boy. Let that go out. Brilliant.
He puts the cork in Ireland. That guy.
He's huge. Let's go, Spurs. See if we can get a bit of quality here. Gray. Back to Radu. It's not where I want him on the ball. Oh, Lord. Oh, my Lord. Please. We can't pass back to Radu. Once he shifts that ball on, whoever he passes to has to take responsibility and move that ball quickly. Come on, Kinski. Go along. Where's Big Kulu? Here we go. Well done, James Madison. Bergval. Come on, find Sonny. Oh.
Audacious from Bergval, and he goes the wrong way. Get
Oh,
onto it,
no.
Tsar. And
No, don't let him
Jai.
shoot. Good
Good
block. Well
block.
done, Radu. Come
Kulu,
on,
gotta
Kulu.
get
Break.
forward here.
Break. You got to use that space. Look at that luscious green grass. You couldn't ask for any more.
He had Sonny, though, the whole time. Kept looking behind him.
Let's just try and keep possession here for 2 minutes. Just get comfortable on it. Act like you want it. Caress that ball. Treat it like it's your girlfriend.
Act like you know how to keep it.
Yeah. Radu. Benjamin. Good turn by Madison. He's going to open up the play. Looks for that switch. No options. Come on, guys. Provide him an option. Archie. Pop it inside. Goes back to Kinski. Can't get out our own half here. This is quite embarrassing.
Davies. Back to Kinski. To the Drago.
Jesus, there's no one around him. He still can't take a proper control of the ball. He's making me so nervous. Come on, Ben. Let's go.
Yeah, we're actually going to need a big performance from him on the ball.
Radu goes long. Good pressure, Porro. Come on, Kulu, go. Good header, Radu. Sar picks it up into Gray. Gray back to Sar. Loses the ball. He gets done there. It's a shot here on the edge of the box. He doesn't. He plays it into Lewis's feet. Turns our centre back. Turns us inside out. 1-0 Everton. Fuck me. This guy can't hit a bat. This guy can't score all season long, and he's absolutely turned our defence inside out. Ah, Tottenham Hotspur, you are going to kill me off. You are going to kill me. Fucking hell, we make our life hard.
I'll be honest.
We can't get it out of our own half. That's what's led to that. We can't get it out of our own half.
I have a bad feeling about this game as well. The reason I have a bad feeling is even before that goal got conceded, the way we give the ball away here, the shape of the team is just so out of whack. Bergval, if he doesn't receive that, the team is just so out of position there because Sar plays a pass that makes sense. Like he's just trying to square it across the field there. But once he does, there's nobody other than Everton players on that side. And once it gets to the Everton player, they have a really easy attack from there. It's just dangerous to look at that shape there. It feels like it's something that Ange has just come up with last minute to try to get certain players into the team. And I'm a little bit worried about the shape in this game because there are some areas that look like huge gaps of space. It looks like huge gaps of space. The way that Sar plays that pass, he almost is thinking that there would be 2 or 3 Spurs players over there to receive it. And there were none. It was only Everton players. And that worries me that even these guys have no idea where each other are supposed to be. And even Bergval right there. I mean, he's receiving a pass with nobody but Everton players around him. And
need to switch back to that back four. We can't get out our own half playing with this back five.
Even Gray, when you see him in possession, when we're trying to build in possession, he's playing in this awkward sort of hybrid, like center back, center mid type role. It looks like something that he's put together last minute, Ange, and it doesn't look good.
Well, we said it, if it did start off as a back five, it strikes as a man that's under immediate pressure right now. So if it doesn't go good,
but even if it was like you'd be like, okay, maybe this is going to throw or stifle Everton. Maybe this is going to throw them off. To be honest, I'm a little bit worried about the gaps and the spaces we're about to concede here.
It's all wrong. There's just not enough available options in the midfield or up front the way it's set up. That's why we can't get out of our own half.
Even just look at the midfield there. There's just nobody in it. He should have gone for Gray in midfield. He should have just been brave enough to play Gray in midfield. I don't know why he hasn't played Gray in midfield.
It's not working, this back three.
DCL is garbage, says Greeny. Yeah, and Calvert-Lewin somehow scores against us.
He's useless.
He is useless. Somehow he scores against us.
He turned Archie Gray inside out there.
And Outeres Fasir saying this guy never scores, can always count on us.
Yeah. Dr. Tottenham. Oh, come on, Spurs. We've got a whole 75 minutes to try and do something, please. If we don't test that goalkeeper, I'm going to lose my rag.
Yeah, King Hoddle saying this guy hasn't scored for about 75 years. King Hoddle or
Good
Kulu
ball,
into Sonny.
Sonny.
Good
Good ball
ball.
out wide. Get at him, Poro. Get at him, Poro.
Find Kulu, man.
Shit ball. Get at him and take him on, you lazy fucker.
And Jai gets onto it as well. Well done, Bear Ball.
Oh. That's another weekend roll off.
I just have a bad feeling about this game tactically.
Nah, he's gone after this game if we die. Like if we get outfought, outrun, barely create anything against Everton, he's gone. This is Everton. Everyone, we slapped these 4-0 up earlier on in the season.
Oh no,
Look at that gaping
Calvert-Lewin's in
hole down the
behind.
middle.
He's in behind. He's in behind.
He's got options as well.
He's gonna get a shot off.
And we allow him to pass it.
Lindstrom. Oh, cleared away from Gray.
Why is Ben Davies standing off him, allowing him to pass it? Why is he not engaging the ball?
Crazy to even say this. If Gray didn't clear that, I'm actually curious if that actually does get to whoever that was at the back post.
He's just off. Good line. Good line. By the defense, you got to give him credit there. Actually, they all had their line pretty well.
It's pretty poor from the lino, actually. It's pretty poor from the lino.
Don't show me. Don't tell me that's a handball in the build up to a goal. It is. It's a handball in the build up to that goal, Jack. Lindstrom.
I didn't see.
Watch this again. They won't show it. Guys, go back and watch that goal. Lindstrom, the ball off his feet onto his hand, and they played on. Another goal with a handball involved, not given to Tottenham Hotspur. I'm struggling to understand it. Drew was telling me there was a decision given in someone's favour yesterday between Bournemouth and Newcastle because of it. Oh, I don't understand this game anymore. Good ball over the top. Sonny's in behind. Come on, Sonny, you got to finish.
Got time.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Sonny, please. He doesn't even get a shot off.
Scott, dude, you don't have that much time.
Fucking hell, son.
Hell of a recovery from Tarkovsky, but he does not have that much time.
VAR said accidental. What a joke. Bloody joke. Now it's allowed, but when Lucas Moore got tackled against Southampton a few years ago and the ball hit off his hand, we scored. It was disallowed.
The ball from Drago. Oh.
No one even knows what the rules are anymore to the game. That's how much they're chopping and changing.
Yeah, exactly.
Disgusting. It was only a few years ago they literally come out and said any handball in the build-up to a goal, it will be disallowed. We get done by that rule. We've got done 3 games in a row now because of handballs in the build-up to a goal, and every single one of them has stood. Fuck me, man.
A few years ago, it felt like only a few weeks ago they were saying that.
Adrian Chias says, big up, lads, for putting in a shift despite the dross. Oh, lads, it's getting harder, Adrian. Look, the writing's on the wall. You know, we don't win this, he's gone, and I think he has to go. I think, you know, he just has to go if this is the case. It's just the writing's on the wall right now. Especially when you see Sonny in behind like that and he doesn't even get a shot off.
I need a new script for 2025, Adrian. I'm done. Need new one. I don't like this script, Adrian. Can I trade it in, please? I need a new one. Thanks for all the support, though, man. Do appreciate you.
Yeah, big up, Adrian. Appreciate all the support from everyone, actually, in general, through these tough times. Kulu, back to Gray. Goes to Kinski. Kinski fires that long to who? Son. With 2 6-foot centre-backs. Are we taking the piss?
It's not even close to Sonny either.
Well, no, Madison, Kulu, Son, stay on. No one knows where they're supposed to be going forward in this formation.
We're also just so heavily favored towards this right side. Like, just no one is standing on that left other than Jet Spence.
Can we one of the centre backs please pass this forward? I'm begging. Just forward. Thank fuck. See, it's
Well
not
done.
difficult. Really isn't hard. Madison, good ball to Sonny. Don't you dare. He
Well
loses
done,
it.
Ben Davies.
Oh, unlucky Spence and Davies. That's much better.
This is
See, all you got to do is just pass it forward, Jack. It ain't hard. You know what I mean? Why do they keep passing it sideways between them?
Well, what happened there is that Ben Davies plays it to Spence, and it seemed like the Everton players were convinced that Ben Davies would never dare to make a run from his back line
Yeah.
to help out Spence, and he did cleverly, and it worked out. And then all of a sudden, like 3 Everton players were just completely taken out of the equation from it. But that just shows there that they don't even think we would go forward in that situation, which again worries me.
Come on, let's get on the end of this. It's a shit ball. It's a shit cross. It's just bypassed everybody in the box. Are we... Here we go. Come on, Porro. Please find some magic. On to Ben Davies. Move that quickly. Spence, let's go. Urgency. Brilliant from Spence. This is class. More like it. Kulu in there. Kulu back to Spence.
Oh,
Beautiful
so
football.
lovely.
I was shocked, kid. Spence, unlucky. Digs it back out. Gray. Bergval. Kulu digs that back. On to Porro. Porro, can he get this across? Another corner kick.
Well done there from Spence.
A Taco Bell advert is making me hungry. Kulu, we decide to go short here. Try something different. Onto Madison. To Porro, trying to change the angle. No, goes back to Madison. Brilliant turn from Madison.
Man on. Jed.
Let's go, Jed. You got to go. Get out. Please get out. Please get out. Thank God. Right, let's show some composure. This is slowly, gradually getting better. Spence looks like he's unlocking them down this side. Can we just keep going down here then? Forget the right side. Nothing's happening out there. Just keep breaking them down this side. Spence is getting joy. Oh, there S. Fasir saying, finally some football. To some sort of standard anyway. It's not the greatest. We're trying.
Well, we haven't actually gotten any football for the last 180 minutes, against Arsenal and against Tamworth.
Good ball by Porro. You're in, Kulu. Please shoot. Shoot. Sonny! Oh, my Lord. He's done. He is done. He's done at Tottenham. He's just hit that straight, dribbled it into Pickford's arms. Kulu should have went himself anyway, but my Lord.
I don't know. I think Kulu makes the right decision there. He catches Tarkowski out. Tarkowski thinks he is going to take it himself.
Take a touch, man.
He doesn't even get a clean strike. It's not even a clean strike.
That's 2 chances he's had now. That is absolutely 2 chances he's had now, and he's missed both of them.
Yeah, he should have a goal. He should at least have one.
He should be 1-1.
Guaranteed.
He should be 1-1. There's no excuse for it.
Guaranteed he should have at least one. And that's being kind to Sonny. I think that's actually being kind. If he really were holding him to his own standard, he would probably have 2. He'd have a brace.
Yeah.
But if you're holding him to a regular standard, he has to bury one of those. He has to bury one of those.
That's shocking.
I think you're being harsh on Kulu, Dave. I actually think that's
look, maybe I am. From the angle, it just looked like the space was there. And to be honest, I'm just I don't want to pass it.
Well, we're second guessing ourselves.
You know what it is? I just don't want to pass it to Son anymore. I'd rather someone else take the shot.
Well, we see them waste chance after chance after chance. I think we, even as viewers, second guess ourselves, of what the right decision is, because they just make it.
You are right, though. Kulu did make the right decision in the end. I just don't want to give it to Son anymore.
Oh, no. Calvert-Lewin.
They are so in here.
Kinski does so well. Kinski does so well.
See, this is how useless Calvert-Lewin is. How did we let him score?
If he's onside as well. If he's onside.
He is.
Oh, my Lord. Kulu.
No, Kulu. Just.
Too much there. Too much. Sar does very well.
Timeberger. Well done.
Oh, what a turn.
There is no options through the midfield right now.
It's all very clustered.
Sonny, please, will you fucking do something? Not that. Anything but that.
Yeah, he's on. He's on by a country mile.
Where's Dragosin and Davies? That's their side.
Yeah, it's Davies' side there.
There's no way they're going to get a penalty here. They just can't.
No, they're just showing the replay.
Oh, and again, we are being ripped open across this back line. And again, what a save from Kinski.
Post.
What a fucking save from Kinski. It's a free
Lewin.
header. Jesus Christ, Tottenham. It is way too open with that back three, that back there. They can't play it together. There's so much space between them all. Look at the distance between Radu and Davies there. It's insane.
It's so lopsided. Defensively and in possession, we are
Yeah.
so lopsided. This is
Got to
just
change
not
it.
worked. This is just not working.
You know the thing is, we should have had 2 goals by now, though. This is the thing. I can't keep glossing over. We should have had 2 by Sonny by now.
That's the story of the season, though. It has been the story of the season.
Well done, Bergval. Bit of tenacity. Well done, kid. Someone help Spence. Good turn, Madison. Good ball on to Kulu. Play Sonny. Right, Sonny,
this
please.
is your time now. Find Kulu, man. Find Kulu. So selfish. Had his head down the whole time.
That's a penalty. That has to be a fucking penalty. He has just come through the arse of him.
I think that's selfish from Sonny there. He has his head down the whole time.
And we're so open again here going backwards. Well done, Sar. Good tracking back. I want VAR to look at that. I'm sorry. He's definitely come through the back of his heels there. Go, Porro. Use the space. Don't be afraid. Good work between Kulu and Porro. Who's getting up to support this play, though?
Literally no one else in the half.
Fucking hell. Bergval.
Like a 2-man attack.
Moves this on to Davies. Come on. Get this Spence. Well done. Let's go, Spence. On to Kulu. Kulu picks this up. Pedro Porro on the outside. Again, they're trying to work it. No real runners. They're all just bunched up. Standing there. Well on Bergval. A bit of movement here. Look at Madison, Sark. Give it into him. Get turned. Go on, Madison. Good ball on to Gray.
Sonny, man.
Sonny. Shit ball out to Porro. He is so far off it. It's unbelievable, son. He is killing us going forward. Could be winning this game by now with him. If he just done the right thing. Move it on to Ben Davies and let's go. Same again. Keep going at them. Spence.
It is clumsy.
It's very clumsy from Braithwaite. Very, very clumsy. I mean, that's a penalty. I've seen them given. Against us. Moondog says, same tactics, same result. As I said, out of his depth. He has changed formation, Moondog. It's just not working whatsoever. And, I agree with you. I think, I've always said, once a manager changes and moves away from his philosophies and everything else, and what he believes is right, and he's changing it up, it's maybe an admittance that it's not working out. And if you change it and it doesn't work then, and you don't get that reaction you're looking for, the writing's on the wall. I think if we don't win this, he's gone after this game, lad.
As much as I've defended Ange on a regular basis, Moondog, this has a very Ange type of vibe where I do feel like defensively we look very exposed defensively.
We are all over the shop.
We look like we could concede at any moment. But then we also have created 2 chances to get back into this game, which is very Ange-like. It's very Ange-like to look like you're about to concede, but then at the same time, you've wasted 2 or 3 chances to get back into the game. So it's just very Ange-like.
Oh no.
And
no, that's disgusting. That's shocking.
And there's 2. I even
said
it.
Where's Pedro Porro? Where's Archie Gray?
Right before we concede, I say we look like conceding at any moment. And there it is, Moondog. And there it is. But at the same time, look at Sonny, man. He's missed 2 good chances to get us back into this. It's not saying we would win this. Not saying that there still aren't huge alarms, still aren't huge question marks. But, man, I mean, it's just been a very Ange-like performance. 2-0 down within 30 minutes. But then also we could have scored 2.
It's just infuriating. But again, Radu Dragson's so exposed. Radu Dragson has to do better. But he's so exposed. No Archie Gray, no Pedro Porro there, no centre midfield cover. And you know what? Fair play to Everton. They've been devastating with their opportunities. That's
Yeah.
why they're 2-0 up now. We haven't. Son has had two massive opportunities, missed it.
Look
Archie
at the
Gray's
gaps
just
there. It's
passed
just
around.
basic schoolboy stuff. Even the 1-2 they play there, it's just basic gaps.
Radu Dragson refuses to go and engage the ball as well. How much further is he going to keep dropping off? Yeah, that's it. Keep dropping off until he's in a shooting position. It's shocking defending. But Archie Gray was passed around too easy there as well. No Porro there to cover. It's just so open, so much space. And you know what? We deserve it. If we're not going to take our chances and we're going to perform like this, we fucking deserve it. Well, that's Ange Postecoglou gone. That is him gone now. If Everton beat us today, we are sucked into a relegation battle. Bergval, we're 2-0 down to fucking Everton. Everton.
Moondog saying he needs to know, or I think he's saying that he needs to know. I knew that would happen, Ange. I feel like I'm in a similar boat. As much as I've tried to defend Ange on numerous bases, Moondog, I felt like I saw that goal happening as well before it even happened. We've looked very, very shaky defensively this game. It's not even just individuals; it's just the shape, the way that they're moving when they're out of possession. There's no real organization to it. There's no real shape to it. It looks like you could cut a knife through butter here with this defense. One pass and all of a sudden everyone's going to be out of position. It's scary, man. It doesn't look good.
We're so open, and this is Everton, by the way. They've scored 15 goals all season.
And they're playing
all
liquid
season.
football
They've scored
against
15
us.
goals, and they've sliced us open, and they've scored 2 here without even trying. Let's be honest, without even really trying. It's just disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful. And, even look us out of possession, stuff like that. It just looks like we've lost all motivation for the game at Tottenham Hotspur, all motivation for what they're being asked to do. Maybe they just don't believe it anymore. I don't know. But, it's a question we asked after North London Derby. Has he lost the dressing room with a performance like that? And then you back it up with this and the Tamworth game before the North London Derby. It stinks of it.
Also, David Moyes has gotten the better of him almost every time, and he's done it again. Bergvall!
I just don't even get excited going forward, Jack. It just doesn't end up in the back of the net anymore. He has to make drastic tactical changes and substitutions at halftime to even try and get something out of this game. And we need a goal before halftime. But this is the end. This is the end. We'll be looking for a new manager as well as trying to get in new fucking players. Disgrace of a club.
Sean Daniel saying, Jack, the defense is nowhere near as bad as the attack. Believe me, I've said that 1,000 times this season, but I actually think this game, I'm not even too sure if that's even the case. Like this game, I'm far more worried about the defense than I've ever been. I think we look way more exposed than even we have in other games.
This is Everton. They struggle to score.
This worries me.
Like ripped open.
And I would agree with you for almost every other game that it's more on the attack than it ever has been on the defense. But this game, I think we look more exposed defensively than we ever have been.
But also, if you go back and look at when we've had Romero and Van de Ven in the back centre backs compared to Radu Dragson and Davies or Radu Dragson and Archie Gray, we do concede the double amount of shots on our goals as well, which is why we're conceding more goals now. So, there is something to be said to get Romero and Van de Ven back. Although they were having their problems, it wasn't as bad as this. We are just passing it around like a bunch of dickheads when we're 2-0 down. Backwards, one touches. Someone get to grips with this fucking game. RST says, I don't care about the injuries now. No excuse for this. It's way too easy. We genuinely look like an EFL team today before it was bottom 3 performances. And look, you're absolutely spot on. Like, there's only... Even with the injuries, you still got to try and make it work. You got to try and make it work. You got to try and get results. And Postecoglou's tried today. He's tried mixing it up. He's gone with a back 3 or a back 5, like most fans have asked and suggested for him to do over this period. And on evidence, it doesn't work. Maybe we don't have the back line to play it like many fans thought, but it's still not an excuse. It's not good enough. This is what he chose to go with. You once you do that, you show you don't believe in yourself. You've lost all belief in what you're trying to do. It's an admittance of it doesn't work. And once you change it, and if you're being carved open again like this without any improvements, the writing's on the wall. The writing is on
Yeah.
the bloody wall. It's
I
not good
think
enough.
I think
At
that
the end of
is
the day, regardless whether Ange is the biggest problem, I still maintain the decline of Son, the sale of Harry Kane has helped to this situation. Not having a good summer transfer window has helped to this situation. But at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do now. We're in the midst of a season and we've got to try and make it work. So, on that basis, it's come to the point where if he doesn't get a win today, and I said this kid going into this game, he's gone.
I think
Definitely game.
the excuses for injuries last for a pretty long time, Artisty, but like we've probably started to creep on to, you can't just continue to drop points. So you got to find a way to pick up a point somehow. You got to find a way to get a result somehow, despite the adversity, despite the injuries. And I think Ange is, his clock has just been going up, longer and longer and longer. Despite all the injuries, despite all the setbacks, despite all the obstacles that have been put in his way that I don't think have been easy. He just hasn't really given us at any point that belief that he can problem solve, out of these situations. He's just not been able to do it. I don't think it's easy. I think, to be honest, I think it's almost a losing battle for pretty much any manager, what he's been put through.
How
But
is that a
he's
free
just
kick?
he's not picked up enough points, man. He's just at this stage we're so in danger of actually literally falling into some sort of bottom half battle here in the Premier League table.
How is that a free kick? And what they done on Son in the box isn't. It's the exact same bloody thing. The exact same thing. One's a free kick, one isn't. Oh, I'm losing my mind with these refs as well. But yeah, I'm not giving them the excuses. Right? Like, I have problems with them. It's what shit. Oh. Paul Markey says Ange has to go. How poorly he's set the team up. Oh, go on. Yeah, he's defeated. He's defeated. You can see it. He's done. When it went to 1-0 and it wasn't working, he should have automatically told them to switch to a 4-3-3. Should have automatically done it. The fact that we're still sitting here playing this, waiting for them to carve us up and get the second, still getting no joy whatsoever. I mean, he's probably resigned to it now at this point as well, to be honest with your Moondog. He probably knows he's going. He probably knows it. The whole board is there. Everybody's there at this game today. Everyone's
I
travelled.
mean, I understand the frustration. I understand the frustration around, his sort of standing on the sidelines and on the touchline, Moondog. I don't think, it's the game changer or a difference maker. If you rely on your manager to point and scream and everything in order to get you to a win, I think that's kind of a little bit ridiculous. But I do feel like when times have been tough and when we have been asking for leaders, when we have been asking for guys to wake each other up, sort of
Agreed.
snap each other out of it, Ange doesn't really help the situation by his own body language on the touchline. Not saying it is his fault. I think it should be more on Sonny. I think it should be more on the captains. I think it should be more on other people. But Ange in no way could say that he helps the situation by just sort of standing there with his hands in his pockets, looking cold and looking frustrated and shrugging his shoulders and throwing his arms up in the air and all that sort of thing. I don't think that sort of body language helps on the sideline whatsoever. And to be fair, when I was watching Atalanta versus Napoli yesterday, Napoli go on to win the game in a huge, huge game. Antonio Conte for 90 minutes. It's like a full performance from him. He's up and down the touchline, screaming at referees, screaming at his players, pointing and shouting. And like I said,
Even towards species, decisions and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And at least show that you're fighting for your team on the sideline. And look, with youngsters, there should be more where he should be trying to help. Coach some of them through the game. It's your formation, it's your tactics. If they're not doing what you're asking them to do, and I've said this many times, Jack, you can't keep waiting to halftime. Can't keep waiting to halftime. You've got to try and do some stuff on the sideline. Oh, look, I can't believe he's giving Bergvall a yellow card for that as well. This referee's a disgrace, but it's just not working. I think you look at him right now. The fact that he hasn't even It looks, the fact that he
Falls
hasn't
into it,
changed
they hate
formation or
him.
anything, it looks like he's lost fight for the job as well, to be honest with you. I think this could be 3-4-0 today, and then he ends up getting the sack off the end of it. I think that's what we're seeing playing out right in front of our eyes.
Yeah. Paul Markey, he's sent the team up and recognized center forward and no recognized center forward on the bench. Leaving recognized center forwards on the bench. Also, Son looks done. Time to move him on. Sonny, man,
But that's Tuesday.
That's like a debate show, panel show, all on its own. It's with the Sonny situation. It's really difficult, Paul. It does feel that way. That he's never shown up this year. He just hasn't. He's just never stepped up to the plate at any point. It's really a big concern. But when it comes to Ange, I was a little bit worried the fact that he didn't play Richarlison, he didn't play Lancashire, and also when Dave was alluding to me that people were saying, oh, he might be going for a back five in this game, I was very concerned by that because I just think there were so many other games when he could have done something like that, when he could have made a little tactical change, could have made a tweak, in the shape, made a tweak in the formation. This didn't seem.
It just doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense. You come into a game which is effectively a 6-pointer, either drags you into a relegation battle or it staves it off. And you've made the changes coming into a game like this. The only thing that makes sense, it's just a guy under pressure who just doesn't know what's right and what's wrong anymore. You know what I mean? And look, the thing is, yes, Postecoglou's going to go today, but there does have to there has to be an understanding amongst the fan base. We really want change moving forward. We've got bigger problems at play. We're witnessing the decline of Son off the back of selling Harry Kane, two players that effectively put a lot of points, a lot of wins, a lot of points on the board for Tottenham Hotspur. They're now gone. We don't have them players to rely on, and we're seeing that in games now. If Son doesn't do it, who else is? Absolutely nobody. So that's a huge problem. That's also a massive concern. You look at the lack of leadership and experience in the team, but yet we've got a DOF who, since he signed on the dotted line, has proved he can't get them guys in the door. He's had 3 windows now, and he's failed 3 windows where this manager urgently needed help, and he's failed him in all 3 windows. All he can do is get in washed up players or youngsters. He can't get any players of any note to help kick this forward. So there's, in a way, if Postecoglou does go today, Jack, it might actually do the football club some benefit in regards to, I think that's when other problems that we've been trying to allude to will be spoken about a lot more in a lot more detail, and we'll put the pressure on the right areas then after that.
People are saying the sound was cutting out there. Hopefully it's a little bit better now. Hopefully it's a little bit better now for you guys. Apologies about that. Is that Daniel Levy in the crowd there with the fedora, or is that someone else? Maybe you were looking.
They're all at the game anyway. I know that today.
It's like someone there with a scarf and like a fedora and everything, and I was like, no way, that's Daniel Levy.
DJ AK member for 6 months says I've backed Ange up until now, and the board is to blame, but the tactics are suicidal. We need to adapt. Ange is too stubborn for too long. And look, I think it's hard to disagree with that. There are other, things at play, but and this is the thing, if we'd done the right things, would we be at this situation? And this is why I say the manager should be the last person to take blame at Tottenham. But today, the setup has been all wrong. And it doesn't stave off any of the Postecoglou and stuff like that. It really doesn't.
Thank you for the support, the Big D. And then Azad YOLO. Is this Azad Hamid still? Azad? Ange is there could be more than one Azad Spurs fan. I imagine there is. Ange is the worst manager in our history. Crap. He's not.
And he follows up and says he is not a coach. Yeah. Why would he shout?
Yeah, if you don't rate him at all, and if you don't believe in him at all, then yeah, that's you could probably.
But is that half the problem that we're bringing in managers and not head coaches? Considering they changed the job description, why are we bringing in managers and not coaches then? Is that half the problem? It's like, what do you want at Tottenham? Do you want a manager, or do you want a guy that's just going to be a coach and you do everything else above him?
Convinced Thomas Tuchel really is a Spurs fan because he's gone to all of our games.
I'm telling you, he's looking at Spence. I am telling you now, he is looking at Jed Spence and Archie Gray probably.
He's definitely not looking at James Maddison, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. Look at Pickford. He's having the time of his life. I hate him. I hate him. Can we just get on with the game so we can just get over and done with? Please, no more stoppages. I can't handle it anymore. Oh, Radu. Now Radu's down. This isn't getting any better. Fuck's
Then
sake.
Moondog with a super chat. Ryan Mason incoming. Please, Moondog, spare me. Spare me the...
It ain't going to be any better with him in charge.
I think we'll all need to go to Hawaii or something for like 2 weeks if Ryan Mason comes back in charge.
When he stepped in before, he's had the benefit of Kane's son, players like that. It's going to be completely different this time around. Southgate, that's who we'll bring in.
Looks like the Rucola man.
Surely Raddy won't be able to continue. Surely they'll take him off because of concussion protocol. Hope he's all right. Please just get this game over and done with as quick as we can.
Everyone. Martin Knightsbridge, good to see you. Martin Knightsbridge saying West Ham and Everton have changed managers because of their form. We are in with them now. If we add our wins and draws together, we will have more losses. I think that's kind of part of the issue, too, with a lot of people who are starting to get fed up with Ange. It's just that you see all these other clubs that have given up on their projects, given up on their guys that they brought in. Even though we're trying to avoid that, we're trying to give up.
Oh.
Bergvall. Just feels like also every player that gets onto the ball, sometimes they have to take it past 4 or 5 players even to find one open player for Spurs.
They're just lacking braveness as well. Everything keeps coming backwards. No one wants to take the risk. You know what I mean? It's just they're doing enough to say we're not the problem. You know what I mean? And to get Ange sacked, you can see it. It's telltale signs. You know, they get on the ball, pass it sideways, pass it backwards. There's no real desire to, and this is the shit that ends up after the result of it. And there's no real desire to go and score goals. You know what I mean? It's stinking of a squad trying to get rid of the manager. Stinking of it. I don't know if I've missed any before this, Jack, but Azad has said Happy New Year to my guys. Yes, still Azad Hamid.
Azad, you might be getting what you wished. Happy New Year to you, sir. But you're probably getting what you wished a long time ago. I think you wanted Ange out for a while now, so I think you'll be finally getting what you've been asking for, sir. It looks like it's happening. It looks like, I mean, Dave and I only know so much. Dave and I only can put 2 and 2 together. Perhaps we're being a little bit reactionary. Perhaps we're, being too soon.
It's embarrassing that Spence and Davies are our 2 best attacking players today.
I liked your old username though, Azad. I liked your profile pic and everything. It was always kind of fun to disagree with you while you had like a big smiling sort of profile pic.
I just want the pain to end.
Free kick.
Fucking hell. If I see us throw a lazy leg out one more time, I'm going to go mad.
Chris saying, I am done. Owners and manager have blood on their hands, destroying our beloved club now.
We're all
From
done, Chris. We've all reached that point. I don't think there's anyone watching this going, "Oh, I'll keep Ange in the job." If there is, surprise us, let us know in the comments. But you're talking about Everton. I'm sorry, this is nowhere near acceptable. He's gone after today. He's gone. It's not good enough. And you know what? Once he does go, once he's out of the way, everyone else will start talking about the ownership, the bad transfer windows, the demise of Tottenham since Kane and Son. All them talking points will come about once he goes. So in a way, it might actually do the club a blessing in disguise, because once the scrutiny starts coming on there, they might fucking act. Right now, Ange's staving off all that, and we've nearly gone 3-0 down. Embarrassing. Good save, Kinski. It's just any surprise it's an Everton player showing more hunger and desire to get on? I'm not. Good save from Kinski. Shawnee, we'll get onto yours at half time, my man. It's an outswinger. Cleared this one. Don't tell me Tarkowski's looking for a penalty.
I really hope not.
Oh, just clear this. Blow it up, please. Just blow it up. I'm sick of watching this. It's not even football anymore. I feel like I'm watching a foreign sport. Feels like I'm watching fucking polo or something like that shit. In fact, it's probably more entertaining.
Oh,
my
no,
Lord,
fuck off.
It just gets worse.
Fuck off.
It just gets worse. I can't believe it. We're taking a pounding here against Everton. Oh, my God. Just when you think it couldn't get worse, it does.
He's done.
Yeah, of course he's done. He was done at 2-0. He was done at 1-0. And you know what? When they scored the first, we could all see what was coming today. Everyone knew what was coming off the back of it. They just simply want it more. That's all it is.
My Lord.
Everyone's just left Tarkowski completely free at the back post. Go on, put that one across. He does. Porro's a bitch in the air like he always is. Oh, that one's Ben Davies, actually. Shit. Archie Gray then turns it into back of his own net. Between him and Radu Dragusin. Shocking.
That's
Lord.
pathetic.
It just gets worse the longer we see it.
That's pathetic.
Please just blow it up.
No point really showing the stats anymore because
I don't know what this guy's saying in Ange's ear. There's no point. Just sit down on the bench. It's over. It's done. I mean, look, he can sit there and look as unhappy as he wants. What has he done this window to help the situation? He can fuck off too. Sitting there looking unhappy. Fuck off. Done absolutely nothing to help the situation. Nothing. Oh my God, we can't even do the basics going forward. Oh my God, I'd actually rather go and watch fucking Balamori or something. This is disgusting. Such a waste of time. I don't even like cartoons, and I'd rather sit through that. Just blow it up, ref, please. Why are you just prolonging the pain? Not only do you give the wrong decisions all the time, you just prolong our pain. Thank fuck for that. Jesus Christ, the referee's done us a huge favour there, blowing that up. Thank God. It was getting absolutely embarrassing. Embarrassing. Oh, this bloody football club, Jack. We are careering towards a relegation. We are absolutely careering towards it right now.
Yeah.
This was a huge 6-pointer coming into this game, and I hate to say it, but Everton from minute one have shown more fight, more hunger than what we've shown. The players aren't trying out there. They're doing the basics to say, look, we're trying, a couple of nice neat little passes here. But in reality, anytime we look like going forward, they're passing it backwards, passing it sideways. They're not playing brave passes. Defensively, we're not picking up anybody. We're just allowing them to railroad us. And it stinks of a team that's ready to let Postecoglou be sacked. That you look at Daniel Levy sitting there with that, what's going on, unhappy look on his face. Fuck you. You're half the fucking problem as well. You've done absolutely nothing to alleviate the situation. This club is an absolute mess. Postecoglou got it wrong. The minute you switch up and go to a back five, which effectively is what that is, no one's going to dress it up otherwise. It's a back five. And you make that change, it shows that you've lost belief in everything you're asking the players to do. You've lost faith in yourself. And the fact that it's getting worse, I mean, he's done for tonight. We will probably be back here at some point this evening doing a break and stream Postecoglou sack. So just brace yourself for it, Jack. Just warning you nice and early. It's probably going to be the case. My phone's dead. If you can text Kieran and ask him for the thumbnail, that'd be absolutely brilliant. The players, they're their way off it. The whole thing is just becoming to one big shit show. And do you know what? Maybe the manager going tonight will actually do the club favour, because then regardless, they still have to act in the transfer market to improve this situation. The injuries ain't going to just all of a sudden start coming back because a new manager's in charge. And it'll highlight, the need for quality players in here because of the decline of Son and Kane. Sky Sports will start talking about it shortly. You watch. Once Postecoglou and immediate, talking point is out the window, everyone else will start talking about it. But we are absolutely disgraceful right now. We are a disgrace. And do you know what? No one's on sync on the club. We knew coming into this January, we needed to sign players to alleviate the situation. They haven't done it. And it's just every bad mistake we're making is just compounding with the bad mistakes that Postecoglou is making. This is no longer tenable going forward. We will see a change in the dugout over this week.
Yeah, this is just from the get-go, it was worrying from seeing the back three, back five shape. Archie Gray doesn't even look like he knows where he's playing, doesn't even look like he knows where he's supposed to be standing. Bergvall and Sarr have no idea who they're passing to, no idea where anybody is. The team looks lost. The players look clueless. They're also
You can't
clueless.
even sell out the home games anymore, Jack. That tells you everything you need to know. We're a very enthusiastic fan base. We can take shit. They can't even sell out home games anymore.
No, this is just bad. This is getting out of hand, and 3-0 down to David Moyes' Everton, which you brought up before. I've only scored something like 15 goals before this all year. They loaded us after more. It's untenable. At this point, it's just drop too many points, Ange. But now it's also just get to saying, if that's also sort of, kind of vent the frustration, sort of show the, viewers get to Sean, wait on signings because Ange, wait on signings because Ange was on the it seems like those are fun. With Terzic, I think he's good for a clan. He's a former, I think, ultra team, and everything like that. So, if he's just going to be able to translate that sort of energy and that sort of enthusiasm to a club, not technically a fan of it, not technically familiar with. I'm not too sure about Terzic. He seemed good in tournaments, but in the Bundesliga, he wasn't very good. Dave, I know we're worried about this, right? They had to make signings yet. Was that they weren't actually deciding it? Like they weren't really sure of him. The fact that they only one emergency signing, maybe that's the thing about. And on the child. No, even if you want to make it. It's very easy to call it. With 3 wheels that Johan has oversaw. He's been here last January. Just the would not drop. We did plastic. They brought in Werner and Radras in the summer. With Steven, we need more experienced players, more help. We're finding young players rather than players coming in the right now. We're now watching users on the just there. You should have been precise. The first things that happened. Better in this way where they have not pressures of this switch. So we're going to give Johan a pass for the last 2 windows. The whole 3 windows in isolation. We need a player in to help kick on. He failed us to deliver over decent, over big help. Look, people could use for Jan Lang on the one. Be my guess. But people done that for Steve Hitchen. And look how much the club offer Steve wasted. And look the amount we didn't have. Sounds of it. Log back. Even the stream, see, we're trying to figure out. This is just happening. I don't know what it is because my internet says it's fine. I'm not sure what's happening anymore, guys. Hopefully, can people hear me okay? Can people hear me, or is it even just really bad on my end? Is it really bad on my end as well, everybody? If you guys can just hear me, I'm just gonna wait for a second. Stream has done a hamstring. See if you guys can refresh the stream. Stream is all over the place. I understand, Eddie. We're gonna try to make best of it as we can. Hopefully people can hear me. Can people hear me okay? Stream any restart. Stream both of you, buffering them. Both ends, Dave's end. It's fine. Just okay now, Jack. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm okay. I'm sorry, everybody. We'll figure this out for next time. Big apologies. I'll just try to take some of these super chats. Apologies about this, everybody. Georgie Hill saying apathetic to it all at this point. Getting harder and harder to wake up for these games over here. Been one of Ange's biggest backer, but it's over. That's the way I feel about it, George. I mean, I'm not gonna lay the title or lay the claim. Can hear you, not Dave. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take these, everybody. I'm just making sure that at least you guys can hear me okay enough. Georgie Hill, though, I've been a big backer of Ange. I'm not going to say that I've been the biggest backer or anything. I have had little moments here and there of, questioning him, but I have really tried to show patience. I've tried to, believe in the guy. At this point, it just feels untenable. Just too many points dropped, too many losses, too many embarrassing losses as well. Sometimes, Ange has lost games, but it's also the manner in which he's lost them. I just don't think it's been tenable enough. But yeah, man, it's been really hard. It's been really hard. But yeah, we'll just making sure. I'm trying. I'm hearing myself okay. It might be out of sync, but I can hear it okay at least enough. Maybe I'm out of sync, but maybe people can hear me at least. Well, I'm trying to take these. They can't hear you yet because I'm gonna try to replug you in, Dave. I need to give you a new link and everything to replug you in because they can't see you. I said that I would take these. Stay where you are. Just stay where you are. Just stay what you're doing. Just trying to do these at the same time. Chris saying, I've tried sitting on the fence with Ange, but I am now done 1,000% Ange out. Levy is to blame. However, Ange chose these players. Yeah, man, I think you're kind of in the same boat as me is that, you've tried to stick with Ange, you've tried to back the guy, you've tried to believe in him. It's just too many drop points, too many losses at this stage. And I'm with you. And even just a week ago, right on the fan show, I was asking you, Chris, where are you with Ange? You said you're on the fence with him, but where are your legs, kind of pointed? Whenever someone is sitting on a fence, usually you're not straddling it unless, that's something that you're into. Usually you're trying to point, the legs towards one end or the other. And you were saying, listen, man, my legs are pointed towards the Ange outside. And if that's the case right now, I don't blame you now, man. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's just, I've tried to give Ange a lot of it. I don't even know if all of them are excuses. I think a lot of them are good explanations for why things have been difficult for him and why things have been difficult for this team. Even despite the excuses, despite the explanations, it's just too much at this stage. It's just too many drop points. It's become untenable. It's become untenable. That's the way I see it, Chris. It's just you can't go on like this anymore. You just can't. And then Blaine Devlin, thank you so much, Blaine. I'm gonna try to get Dave in here now, Blaine, and see if he can maybe answer this, and also just do a little mic test. From what I can tell, people are saying maybe it's gotten a little bit better since again, like, I'm not going to assume that it's gotten a lot better, but let me know, everybody, if it has been a little bit better in the last few minutes or so. That would give me some encouragement that maybe the slight change, maybe that would just be the slight sort of explanation for maybe what's going on. It's just maybe a little tweak that I might have made, hopefully helped things a tad bit. I'm just going to wait on a response from some of you guys, but I do have Dave back in here, so we're going to give Dave another attempt at trying to answer Blaine here. Blaine, thank you so much for the support today. Thank you so much for everybody else for your support. And also thanks for your patience, everybody. Really apologies about the stream. And Blaine saying, Dave, the bit which rang biggest for me was the unseen. When Dragshin was getting treated 2-0 down, Ange just stood there, arms folded like a sulky teenager, dragging the team and coach them. It's over.
because he's wavering, the length of the 4-year contract the club gave him, so he's going to wait for the sack, and I think that's what you're seeing right now today. Saying no sound at all now. Just relay what I was saying. I'm going to log out completely. I'll log into a new. I'm back in now, I think.
No sound, Jack. Can't hear you, Jack. Well, you guys aren't supposed to be hearing me. You're supposed to be hearing Dave. Can you guys not hear Dave? Refresh. Can people hear Dave? See Dave? Okay. Um. Well, I mean, I didn't say anything else, but maybe, but yeah, man, it's just body language. It's bad body language. It's really bad body language. Want to try again, Dave? Yeah, I'm not hearing anything on your end. Sorry. Um. Probably, I guess. Yeah. Maybe we'll just